Hey guys, welcome back to Level 6 Math. Today we're doing Lesson 78 in our Saxon Math. This is on capacity. We could also just call this metric system versus US customary system. I really wish this lesson was a little earlier in the sequence. If you're using the Saxon Power Up book, you've probably been doing these conversions for weeks now or months because we start working on that earlier. This is part of our mental math, converting different capacities because this is something that you'll have to do, unfortunately, especially if you live in the United States and use the US customary system, which is an inferior system to the metric system, in my humble opinion. If you live here, you're going to have to make these conversions all the time. So this is something that's really worthwhile. This is kind of a lesson that I wish all adults would take every once in a while because this is something that adults struggle with, but we use it all the time. All right. So let's look at the US customary system. 1 gallon equals 4 quarts, 1 quart equals 2 pints, 1 pint equals 2 cups, 1 cup equals 8 ounces. We have to remember a lot of conversions. The rest of the world uses the metric system, which says a liter is 1,000 milliliters. That's it. It's a lot easier to convert using the metric system. All right. So today we'll mostly be looking at the US customary system because that's where we have to do most of the conversions. This one's pretty easy. It's just normal math. It's moving the decimal place. Okay, so common container sizes in the US customary system are shown below. A gallon, we do milk in a gallon. We also do milk in a half gallon, especially if you do like an almond milk or some other kind of nut milk or soy or something like that. So that's usually in a half gallon. I love the dark chocolate soy milk. Good stuff. All right, a quart, well, back in the good old days, they came in little glass bottles. You could get them right from the dairy. I lived on a dairy for a while. We had these little quart bottles. They're fantastic. Half and half comes in a pint. So if you see those like from the grocery store, if you're going to put a creamer into your coffee, or if you're making whipped cream, or you need half and half for something else, making a cream sauce, you're going to get those in pints. Those are pretty small. And then a cup, typically we don't buy things in cup size, maybe like a yogurt or something, but usually those aren't in cup sizes either. But a cup is like a serving size, actually I think when you do ice cream, it's supposed to be like a 4th cup or something like that, but most people take a cup. So obviously I take at least that much. So that's what we've got. They're shown by the amount of liquid they contain. Notice that each container size has half the capacity of the next largest one. So 2 cups equals a pint, 2 pints equals a quart, 2 quart equals a half gallon, and that's why we call it a half gallon, because really it's 4 quarts equals a gallon, okay? So if we use the half gallon, then it conveniently goes up by double each time. Could we really, in the US customary system, just call this 1 gallon, half gallon, quarter gallon, 1/8 a gallon, 1/16 of a gallon? So instead of calling it a cup, we just call it 1/16 gallon. Could we do that? Yes, we could do that. We don't though. All right, food and beverage containers often have both the US customary and the metric capacity printed on it. So a 2-liter bottle is going to tell us how many gallons or liters, or not liters, that's metric, gallons or quarts is on it. So typically you'll see that if you read the labels. So start paying attention to that in the grocery store. See if they have both on it. Using the information found on a 2-liter bottle and a half gallon milk carton, we find that 1 liter is a little bit more than a quart. So it's not a perfect conversion from the US customary system to the metric system. It's going to involve decimals, but they're close, okay? And when you're cooking and stuff, and you want to make substitutions, maybe you don't have measuring cups, it's good to know what's close. All right, a half gallon of milk is how many pints of milk? So again, remember it goes by halves, right? So a half gallon is 2 quarts, and 2 quarts is 4 pints. So we can just go through that. 2 pints equals a quart, 2 quarts equals a half gallon, so we're going to look at 4 pints. And you can do that in your head. If you need to draw it out, you can. So you can be like, a half gallon equals 2 quarts. You can make your little bottle thing. That's a beautiful bottle. Good job, Mr. C. And remember that one of those is 2 pints. So 2 times 2 is going to give you 4. You can draw it out if you need to. Think about it in your head. Just remember each one doubles, but don't forget that to include the half gallon. All right, which is the greater capacity, a 12-ounce can or 1 pint? We do know that a pint equals 16 ounces, all right? So what's bigger, 16 ounces or 12 ounces? A pint. So 1 pint container has more capacity than a 12-ounce can. So if we were drinking pints of soda instead of, we drink a can, and cans of soda are typically 12 ounces, I think. I actually don't drink soda very much, but that means if you drink a pint, you're drinking a little bit more than a serving or a can of soda. All right, that's it. So we're just going to practice doing some conversions today, looking at mostly the U.S. Customary system. This is a really helpful lesson, so try to pay attention. Start memorizing, gallon, half gallon, quart, pint, cup. It's just going to help you in life, especially if you want to cook. So that would be good. All right, bye.